how you got started into maybe the drug world and how you made it through recovery?
I started at a very young age, right out of high school. I went from man to man and did what they did. I kind of adapted to the situation and let go of all my dreams and aspirations for drugs and men. And it wasn't until May of last year that I was arrested for trafficking heroin. And at that point, I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't know how to get help. I didn't want to admit to my family and friends that I did have a problem, and I felt so alone. It was really a blessing in disguise, God doing for me what I could not do for myself, and it essentially saved my life. I entered the program in July. I did go to treatment in West Cleveland, and it really started a whole new journey for me. I learned so much about myself. I learned about the disease of addiction, that I really wasn't alone. In fact, that there was a lot of people out there dealing with the same problems, and being an IOP in drug court gave me the opportunity to relate with these other people in the program and find out that they too were struggling with the same issues that I had. So it really helped me to be able to open up and talk about my problems and be guided in the right direction as far as recovery and sobriety come. I was introduced to the program of AA, and that also helped me, and just reconnecting with my family and my friends and just learning a whole new way of life. I didn't want my old life back. I didn't get my old life back. I got a whole new life, and I couldn't be more grateful for what this program has given me. Like I said earlier, I could have been put in jail and then gotten back out and went right back to it. But this program gave me the opportunity to find myself and just be more educated about the disease of addiction and be able to work through those problems and find tools and use those tools to have a relatively happy, sober life. So that's where I'm at today, and I couldn't be more grateful for this journey, and I only hope that the future has much more for me. And I know it does. I know it does. If I just keep doing the next right thing. So, yeah.
How tough was the program? Was it tough for you at the start?
I was excited because I hadn't been sober in 15 years. So I was excited to learn about this disease because I knew I had a problem. I just didn't know how it worked and how much it affected my family. I learned so much about myself in the first few months. I actually enjoyed it. It lifted this weight off of my shoulders that I wasn't alone, and there was a way to deal with it. There are a lot of rules, but I don't. If it weren't for those rules, I don't think I would be sober today. Those really helped me, calling in every day, IOP, going in front of the judge. Those are all there for a reason because they do work. You just have to want it. And I wanted it. I was ready. I was done. My future plans, short-term plans, I'm going to travel because in my addiction, I never left. I was stuck. I had no dreams, no aspirations. So that's my short-term plan, is just to travel around for the next month. And then I plan on going back to school to finish my degree for molecular biology, which I started at Kent, but will be relocating hopefully to Florida with my grandmother just to pursue my dream, something I've always wanted to do. And my disease took that away from me for many years, and now I get to get back to where I started and pursue my dream. It was hard for me to admit that I was an addict or an alcoholic. I would suggest reaching out to your family and friends. Even though it's hard, they care about you, they do love you, and it'll save your life. I wish I would have done it a lot sooner.
welcome to all of you here today, and we have many friends I see out here, friends of the drug court, but probably also friends and family of the drug court participants, particularly the graduates today. And obviously, we are here today for a special celebration, which we get to do a couple of times during the year, of the persons who have made it successfully through the drug court program. I want to take just a minute also before we start to mention William Miller. I believe that Bill definitely would have been here as part of this graduation today, and unfortunately he suffered a fatal heart attack, as I think most of you know. But he was an inspiration to me in the period of time that I knew him, and I think that he was a mentor to a number of you people who have been drug court participants. As you know, he was a decorated veteran of the Vietnam War. And then at some point, I think early in his life, he got caught up with addiction. And of course, you know what that's about and what that can mean. And he got into treatment, and he did very well, and I think for a really long period of time. And then, in his 60s, he relapsed. He ended up being charged with a felony and landed in the criminal justice system. And then, I guess, he might even say, by the grace of God, it was here in Ashtabula County, and that a foresighted judge, Judge Mackey, had started a program here for a drug court, and Mr. Miller got the opportunity to participate in that drug court. Again, got treatment and was doing very well. Bill, I think, definitely is here in spirit. But the reason that I always think about him and what he represents to me as far as what I think about when I look at all of you is the fact that no matter who you are or where you are or at what point you are in your life, you never know when relapse can occur. So certainly the same thing, even though you never know when relapse can occur, you know that help can be there too, if you're smart enough to look for it, and ask for it, and reach out. So, I guess what that means is, as in any graduation, when we talk about graduation from whatever it is, that this is not the end of a journey. It's really the beginning of your journey for the rest of your lives. I know that all of the people who are graduating today actually did start the drug court program with Judge Mackey. And I'm sure all of you saw that Judge Mackey is here with us today. And I'd like to invite you, Judge Mackey, if there's anything you'd like to say to this group of graduates. I give you the opportunity to do that right now, or if you want, you can wait until later, but I just want to give you the opportunity. Do you want to use the mic?
I won't use the mic, but I'm very proud of all of you who are here today as graduates. And from time to time, I encounter some of the graduates and attended their college graduation, or they graduated from graduate school. Saw one of our graduates about a year ago, maybe less, and starting his own business, 2 employees, and he's looking to buy a building, and that's pretty amazing. So, as Judge Joe said, this is the beginning of a fresh start for you, and I commend you, and you're going to now live up to all the possibilities that you have with your life. So congratulations.
The graduates, and individually have them come up front. First of all, Faith Burkhardt. All right. Faith. The reason I called you first is Stephanie gave me this paperwork. It says you've been in the program 20 months. We probably should have you stand a little bit around here so we can see you. Okay. So that's the longest of any of the people who are actually graduating today. But I did notice that between June of 2013 and October of 2013, that you managed to get indictments against you in front of all 3 of the judges of the Common Police Court at the same time.
Yes.
You're not the first person that's ever done that, but I would say that it does put you in a pretty elite group of bad actors. You had 11 felony counts. And also, well, of course, obviously you've been in the drug court. And it looked like to me that maybe you had a little bit of a rocky start. That was before I was a drug court judge. But look at you today. I think that you can probably do just about anything that you put your mind to. And so, congratulations on your accomplishments, but we do want to invite you to say something, whatever you might want to say, if anything on your mind about drug court or anything else, or if you have any advice for anybody else here.
I just want to say that I just want to thank the drug court team, because I was stuck. I wanted to get out so bad, but just didn't know how, and it was a rough start for me, but that's just because I didn't know how, and I just want to thank them for giving me the chance and for seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself, because it's really turned my life around and has let me be a mother, a daughter, or not a mother, a daughter to my mother, a sister, you know, back in my family's life, and able to do amazing things with my life, and I am just truly grateful and will forever be grateful.
Okay, congratulations. Okay, you get another coin, as you know. This is a very significant one to celebrate your completion of the drug court program. You'll get this certificate, and Mr. Arrochi, our county prosecutor, has something special for you also.
Faith, I'm handing you three, not one, but three orders signed by all of the judges that more or less indicate, as a result of your post-conviction, successful completion of the post-conviction program, that you have successfully completed that condition of your community control. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
There is one thing I forgot to say, and I'm going to mention it because this will tie together by the time we finish. But one of the things Faith mentioned, I guess, in group this past week, that she's planning on traveling to New York State to visit some family she has not seen in a while, in the near future. So good luck on your travel. All right, next I'd like to have Christopher Cantor come up. All right, Chris. I made some notes that I wanted to remember to mention about you. Apparently you've been in drug court for 19 months, right? And actually, of all the people graduating today, during that period, you accumulated the most sanctions. You had 6. Now, I want to tell you, that's not a record, but it is pretty high up there. But still, I can tell from talking week to week that you've worked at it, and you've really worked hard to get here. And I know that in reviewing the original pre-sentence investigation that was prepared in your case, that you've really come a long way since December 27, 2013, when you were in my court, and you entered into the drug court program. But I think that if you remember and live what you have learned during your participation in the drug court here, that you're going to do fine. So now, I want to invite you, if there's anything that you can share with us about your drug court experience. You want to use the mic? Probably better. They won't be able to hear you without it, I don't think.
I'd like to thank Judge Mackey and Judge Jost and the drug court team, Stephanie Belfrona. She saw me through a lot of problems. Jason, the counselor, and Bill, Jesse, people from Turning Point, and thank you.
All right. Any team members have anything they'd like to say? All right, so here is your coin for graduation. There's your certificate. And I'd like to invite the county prosecutor to come up here.
Chris, you were a diversion program participant, which means that if you successfully completed drug court, your charges, your criminal charges, would be dismissed. Well, you had 2 charges, one a 5th-degree felony for possession of heroin, and another a possession of drugs, a 1st-degree misdemeanor. Both of those charges have been, as of 10 minutes ago, effectively been dismissed with prejudice, meaning they're gone forever. They can never be refiled. Congratulations.
Now, the comments this past week, one of the things that Chris shared is that he'd like to take his children on a Disney cruise in the near future. Rachel Schomburger. Rachel, okay. Now, you've also been in drug court about 19 months.
Yes.
And during that period, apparently you've only had 1 sanction. That's really good. I mean, you can't. It's a little bit less than perfect. And I can tell you that there's only one other graduate today who managed to get through the program with only 1 sanction. but the other person has not been in drug court as long as Rachel, so she hasn't had as much time to mess up. But, again, you have a lot to be proud of as far as what you've accomplished during the drug court. So can you share with us a little bit about your thoughts?
I just want to thank everyone for seeing in me what I didn't see in myself. And if I wouldn't have went to NeoCap and been in this program, I would probably be dead or in prison. And I'd like to thank Jason because he was always there and his door was always open for me, and it was an amazing program. And I'd just like to thank everybody. And it gave me a foundation for the rest of my life. Thank you.
There's your certificate for your completion, your diploma, you might say. And Mr. Arrochi also has something for you.
I do have to mention before I give this to you that when you got in your accident and you showed up in court with a back brace that one day in Judge Mackey's courtroom, I think all of us were concerned for you in that we really thought that you were going to relapse. You didn't. I mean, you hung in there, which was an amazing thing based on what you had gone through. So this is quite an accomplishment for you. And the reason you were in here so long, in our program for so long with only one sanction, was because you were injured. So I wanted to mention that. But you were a post-conviction participant, and I'm handing you an order signed by Judge Yost indicating that you have successfully completed that condition of your community controls. Congratulations.
Jeff, 15 months for you in the program, and only 2 sanctions. So that is good. That's good. You also had 2 cases with 2 different judges, right? Okay. So it's pretty serious, but again, you've done well in the drug court program. So I congratulate you on your achievement, and ask you if you have any advice maybe for anybody else here, or any comments about your experience.
Make sure you call in before noon. Make your hours flexible.
Now, Jeff happened to report this week that he's planning to visit his mother in Tulsa, Oklahoma, now that he's graduated from drug court. All right, Michelle Gilbert. Okay. So, 13 months for you in drug court, 3 sanctions.
No.
I don't know, that's what they reported. You don't remember, it didn't seem like that many.
No.
Or maybe it felt like more.
No.
All right, well, I have to say that it appears that you've done very well through the drug court program. And certainly the impression I've had, you were already well on the track before I became a drug court judge. So I don't think that you should have any difficulty continuing to be successful in your life. If you remember what you learned through this program and continue to live that. So what do you think has helped you the most?
You didn't ask anybody else that question.
Well, I thought, are you already prepared to say something different? You can say anything you want here, it's your graduation.
What has helped me the most? The accountability, the support that I've had with the drug court team, and everybody in IOP, and working the program and actually wanting it. My higher power, of course.
Okay. Before I give you a certificate, I guess I never realized kind of what a little rebel she is. Probably everybody noticed that I sort of relented a little bit on the flip-flops because of the fancy dress sandals that people wear. But Michelle wore flip-flops today. Okay, I want to give you a certificate and your coin. And congratulate you again and wish you the best of luck. And of course, Mr. Arrochi is going to be in the presentation also. They're pretty dressy looking flip-flops.
Well, I want Judge Mackey to join me with this one. Because Judge Mackey fought for you tooth and nail. If it wasn't for Judge Mackey, you would never have entered drug court. Because my office was relentless about you not participating. And Judge Mackey overruled me, which he has the right to do. And it was against my wishes and my entire office's wishes. And he was right, and I was wrong. And you proved us wrong, and I'm so happy you did. So, on behalf of the drug court team, I'm handing you a dismissal entry signed by Judge Harris, your original judge, dismissing the 5th-degree felony count of possession of heroin with prejudice. Congratulations.
All right, Michelle Whitaker. All right, Michelle, 11 months for you.
Yes.
And 3 sanctions.
Yep.
So, I don't know if that's a lot for 11 months, but 11 months is pretty good to get through the program in 11 months. I did look at your original pre-sentence investigation. It was prepared on this case. And you had practically no criminal record to speak of. There was nothing serious. But then, of course, you got caught up and charged with a felony. But when I was reading about what was reported, at least about the time of arrest, I mean, honestly, it was pathetic in a way. I mean, as I read it, I felt really bad because I've known you as somebody that's been well on the path of recovery, but it just sounded like heroin had really reduced you to a pretty sad state at that point in your life. I don't know if you would agree with me or not, but you ended up with 3 felony possession charges, but then you got into drug court. And the side of you that I have seen is the person that's been successful in being able to work your recovery program and to work a job. It appears like you're a hard worker. You've been a model participant. You stay clean. You look good. And I think you have a lot to be proud of. So congratulations. Now, what can you tell us that might help inspire others?
I just want to thank all the drug court team for giving me a great opportunity to change my life around. Stephanie, I want to thank Jason and Gloria and Laurel for being great counselors. I want to thank my family, my mom, my dad, my boyfriend, my friend Julie for being here and being supportive and being here for me the whole time, putting up with all my crap. And yeah, I'm very grateful. This program's changed my whole life and I'm doing great, and that's all I got.
All right. Certificate, and of course, Mr. Rich, you can present your legal documents.
You were a diversion participant, and as a result of your successful completion, Michelle, the single possession of heroin charge, a 5th-degree felony, that ultimately you were indicted with. You were originally charged with 3 charges, but you were indicted on 1. That has been dismissed with prejudice. Congratulations, great job.
So Michelle reported this week that she has plans on taking some time off work so that she can go to Pensacola, Florida to visit with her sister now that she's done with drug court. All right, Veronica, let's get it. All right, Veronica, 11 months in drug court and 1 sanction. That's really pretty good. You're on the fast track and you only messed up 1 time with the caught you. Okay. So you were the other person I referred to that had only 1 sanction, together with Rachel Schoenberg. And you also managed to complete in 11 months, like Michelle Whitaker. So are you glad that you applied for drug court?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Would you recommend it for other people who are where you were when you were busted for selling dope?
I was dying inside, emotionally.
Sure, I'm going to give you the mic.
Oh, okay.
You can go ahead and say whatever you feel.
I was dying, and it wasn't until the series of events that led me here, did I realize I needed the help. I didn't know how to ask for the help, and if it wasn't for this program, I don't think that I would even be alive today.
Your coin to memorialize this graduation. We also have your diploma, your graduation certificate, and Ms. Arucci will give you your legal documents.
Well, the one memory I have of you is Judge Mackey had a need for a pooper scooper. I don't know why we got into a conversation about a pooper scooper in the courtroom, but you had indicated that you had one.
Yeah,
sell pet supplies.
Oh, that's right, yeah, so you sell pet supplies, and you actually sold, and money was exchanged between you and the judge. You sold him a poop. So, that was rather entertaining, I remember that, so, congratulations. You were a diversion candidate or participant, and you had one charge of trafficking in heroin, a 5th-degree felony. That's been dismissed with prejudice, forever gone. Congratulations.
Again, I think that everyone who's been through this program or in this program will attest that it's not easy. And for those who have managed to get through to graduation, again, it's a major milestone achievement, but just one of many achievements that I'm sure that they will be capable of as they go forward with their lives. The reason I mentioned about all of the people that talked about traveling, especially out of state, you may or may not know that as a participant in drug court, you're not even allowed to go out of Ashtabula County unless you get special permission. And it's rarely granted. There are some exceptions that can be made, but usually it's maybe to go over to Lake County or something. It's to go probably not outside the state of Ohio. So that they won't have to worry about reporting to a judge or to a team anymore or asking permission to travel. And so good luck to all of you on your travels. But that, I guess it's something that I hadn't thought about, is one of the things that you're deprived of for the long period of time that it takes to get through with the drug court program. And then the last thing is the coins that some of you who are guests here, little medallions memorialize important milestones for people, and we give them a welcome coin when they first come in. We give them a coin to celebrate the first month of sobriety. We give them a coin to celebrate 6 months of sobriety, the graduation coin. And I think everybody in drug court knows that if they keep these coins, probably in about 50 years, they will be worth a lot of money on eBay. So keep them in a safe place. Everybody who's in drug court now, but especially the ones who are graduating, who will no longer have this direct accountability that a lot of people mention is one of the benefits of drug court, is going to need the continuing support of their friends and family. So hopefully all of you will understand what it means that they now have a sober lifestyle, and that you will always be supportive and encouraging for them to continue along the path that they are currently on. And then the last thing, before I put up the microphone, is there are some snacks, I guess you would say, and refreshments over there on that table that we want to invite everyone to enjoy a little bit of time of fellowship together and give you all the opportunity to congratulate all of the graduates today. But before we dismiss everyone, is there anybody else who would like to make any final comments? Mr. Arroyo, all right.
Thank you, Judge. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer of the group, but as county prosecutor, I need to remind you. And let me use as an example just what happened last week. Last week, my office and the county grand jury indicted a drug court graduate on 3 counts, one of which was burglary, and it was all heroin related. And my assistant prosecutors, starting from me all the way down, know that my office shows no mercy. No mercy to drug court graduates who are back in the system. So we will continue to be relentless in prosecuting her, and it's just a warning to those who graduate. You know, please stay away from the people that got you into this system, this lifestyle that has brought you into just a horrible state. I see some of the great drug court graduates here. They look wonderful. I mean, it's awesome to see you here and continuing on. So they're your role models. Continue to follow them, use them as an example, but please don't come back into the system, because if you do, I'm just giving you fair warning. My office will ensure that you will go to prison. Now, if that happens, that's up to the judge, but my office will aggressively try to make that happen. So, thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much again for coming here today. We're dismissed. Please help yourself to some of the